Dive into the captivating history of New York architecture, a story that begins in the 17th century. Our tale unfolds with the arrival of Dutch settlers who brought with them a distinct architectural style that would lay the foundation for the city's future skyline. The Dutch colonial style, which marked the city's early architectural landscape, was a testament to the practicality and simplicity of the settlers' lifestyle. Imagine quaint 1- to 2-story buildings with steep, sloping roofs and large central chimneys. These structures, primarily made of wood, were designed to withstand the harsh New York winters, and their cozy, compact design provided a warm and welcoming respite from the elements. But the architectural narrative of New York is one of change and evolution, and in 1664, a new chapter began. The British takeover of New York introduced a shift in the city's architectural style. The English influence brought with it a more refined aesthetic. Brick and stone began to replace wood as the primary building materials, and the city's structures started to bear a closer resemblance to the grand houses and public buildings found across the pond in England. The English also introduced the Georgian style, characterized by symmetry and classical proportions. This style was evident in the design of many homes, churches, and public buildings erected during this period, and it signaled the city's move towards architectural sophistication. Yet despite these changes, the heart of New York's architecture remained rooted in the practicality and simplicity that marked its early days. The city's buildings were designed to serve the needs of its inhabitants, whether that meant housing a growing population or accommodating the burgeoning commerce that was quickly transforming the city into a bustling hub of activity. As New York grew, so did the complexity and grandeur of its architecture, marking the dawn of a new era. This was just the beginning of a journey that would witness the rise of skyscrapers, the birth of modernism, and the evolution of a city skyline that is as diverse and dynamic as the people who call New York home. As we step into the 18th and 19th centuries, New York's architecture began to mirror the young nation's identity and aspirations. The city was growing, and so was the need for new buildings to reflect the changing times. This period saw the rise of what we know as Federal-style architecture, a timeless aesthetic that still stands proud in many parts of the city today. Federal-style architecture was characterized by its symmetry and simplicity. It was a departure from the ornate and complex designs of the past and instead embraced a clean, balanced aesthetic. Buildings were often rectangular in shape, with evenly spaced windows and a centered door. This style was a reflection of the new nation's desire for order and harmony, a physical manifestation of the ideals that the United States was founded upon. But as the century turned, so did the architectural trends. The city began to see the emergence of Greek Revival architecture. This style was inspired by the grandeur of ancient Greek structures and was often used in public buildings and private residences alike. Greek Revival architecture was marked by its large, imposing columns, pediments, and heavy entablatures, reminiscent of the Parthenon and other iconic Greek structures. This revival was not merely about aesthetics, but rather, it was a conscious decision to associate the young nation with the democratic values of ancient Greece. By aligning itself with these architectural symbols of democracy and knowledge, New York, and by extension, the United States, was making a statement about its own values and ambitions. These architectural styles, while distinct in their own right, share a common thread. They were both reflective of the times and the aspirations of the people. They served not just as shelters, but as symbols of a nation that was carving out its identity and a city that was starting to make its mark on the world. This period of architectural development embodied the spirit of the young nation, but New York was not done evolving. The dawn of the 20th century brought about an architectural revolution, with New York at its epicenter. As the city's population swelled, so did its buildings, turning the city into a towering metropolis. This was the era of skyscrapers, the giants of the urban jungle. At the forefront of this vertical expansion was the iconic Flatiron Building. Completed in 1902, this triangular marvel was one of the tallest in the city, standing at a then staggering 20 stories. Its unique shape, reminiscent of a cast-iron clothes iron, made it an instant landmark and a symbol of the city's upward trajectory. But the Flatiron was merely the beginning. The Chrysler Building soon followed, reaching an astonishing 77 stories. This Art Deco masterpiece, with its gleaming spire and ornate terraced crown, was a testament to the city's prosperity and ambition. Yet New York was not done reaching for the sky. The Empire State Building, completed in 1931, soared an unprecedented 102 stories high, setting a new record for the world's tallest building. These iconic structures were not just feats of design and engineering, they were manifestations of technological advancements. Steel frame construction, electric elevators, and improved concrete all played a crucial role in facilitating this vertical growth. As the century progressed, the city's architecture began to shift towards modernism. This new school of design prioritized functionality and minimalism over ornate details. Buildings became sleek, simple, and efficient. The Seagram Building, with its bronze exterior and glass curtain walls, exemplified this ethos, merging form with function in a way that was distinctly modern. This was more than just a stylistic shift. It was a reflection of the changing times. As the city grew and evolved, so did its architecture, adapting to meet the needs and aspirations of its inhabitants. New York's skyline was forever transformed, a testament to the city's ceaseless innovation. As we enter the latter half of the 20th century, New York's architecture continues to push boundaries and defy expectations. This era saw the advent of postmodern architecture, which emerged as a dramatic departure from the stark functionality of modernist designs. Postmodernism, characterized by its eclectic and often controversial style, sought to challenge the established norms and brought a playful, almost whimsical quality to the city's skyline. Take the iconic AT&T building, for instance. Designed by Philip Johnson and John Burgee, it's a classic example of postmodern design. Its Chippendale-style roof and ornamental details marked a significant shift from the minimalist aesthetics of the previous era. This structure, like many of its contemporaries, was a statement, a bold declaration of the freedom and diversity inherent in postmodern design. As we move forward, we encounter deconstructivism, an architectural style that further pushed the envelope of design. Deconstructivism is often characterized by fragmentation, an interest in manipulating a structure's surface or skin, and redefining shapes and forms in unexpected ways. The Solomon R. Guggenheim Museum, with its spiraling form and non-traditional facade, is a striking example of this design philosophy, demanding attention and breaking away from conventional architectural aesthetics. Finally, we arrive in the present day, where contemporary trends focus on sustainable and green architecture. In a world increasingly aware of the environmental impact of our actions, New York's architects are pioneering designs that are not only visually striking, but also environmentally responsible. These structures aim to reduce their carbon footprint, utilize renewable resources, and harmoniously coexist with their surroundings. New York's architectural journey is far from over, with each new structure adding another chapter to its rich history. This city, forever pushing the boundaries of design and innovation, continues to redefine itself through its architecture, ensuring that its skyline remains as dynamic and diverse as the city itself. New York's architectural history is a fascinating journey, reflecting the city's growth, innovation, and resilience. It's a tale that starts with humble beginnings in the Dutch colonial era. Back then, architecture was practical, simple, and functional, with the settlers' homes reflecting their modest lifestyles. But as the city grew, so did its architectural ambitions. With the dawn of the Federal and Greek Revival periods, New York began to assert its identity. The city's buildings started to showcase grace and elegance, with the Greek Revival style echoing the grandeur of ancient Greece, and the Federal style embodying the newfound independence and pride of a young nation. Then, the city reached for the skies. The age of skyscrapers and modernism transformed the city's skyline into a forest of steel and glass. New York became synonymous with towering skyscrapers, like the iconic Empire State Building and the innovative Seagram Building that embodied the spirit of progress and the pursuit of the American dream. In the postmodern era and beyond, New York's architecture took a turn towards the eclectic and the sustainable. The city embraced architectural diversity, with buildings like the Guggenheim Museum and the High Line showcasing a blend of form, function, and environmental consciousness. This journey through New York's architectural history is a testament to the city's ability to innovate, adapt, and grow. From its modest Dutch colonial beginnings to its current status as a beacon of architectural diversity and sustainability, New York has shown us that architecture is more than just buildings. It's a reflection of society's values, aspirations, and dreams. Before we wrap up, we'd like to invite you to join us in exploring more fascinating stories like this one. There's a whole world of architectural marvels out there waiting to be discovered. So if you enjoyed this architectural journey through time, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating stories.